Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here from the Performance Lab in California, and we have another breakdown for you today. And really the big thing that we're going to be talking about here is going to be the position of the front arm and why it's really so important in your actual throw and how much of an impact it actually has on your throw when you don't have your front arm in the correct position. So this is a video of me throwing, and there's just a couple differences. So here on the left is going to be me having my front arm in more of the traditional position, I guess, of having your hand like close to your chest. There's different people that have their hand a little bit higher up. There's also people that have it a little bit closer to your chest. I'm probably on the lower end here in terms of where the position of my hand is. But the big thing is you don't want to have it coming down too far, like how I did on this throw, right? And what ends up happening when that happens. So I think this is the best angle to be able to see that is really the slightly behind and to the side here. And so you can see as I'm coming through, what's really important in really generating a lot of force in internal rotation of the shoulder is that being able to have a sense of stability within the thoracic spine or the T-spine, which is like this part of your actual spine here. So when I'm actually going through the throw and I'm going into internal rotation of the shoulder, right? So that means my shoulder's turning in. What's happening is that I'm still pulling this arm back. So now that internal rotation is just not as strong. So now it's going to make it so the actual force when I'm releasing the ball is not going to be as powerful with my shoulder still pulling back here. Okay, and then what also happens is because my left shoulder is pulling a little bit further back and I'm dropping the position of my hand is now as my arm is actually coming across or coming through, it's coming more across, right? When we're throwing the ball, we want our arm to be coming more straight down as we're actually throwing. We don't want to end up having the ball coming too far across. So you can see how right here, my hand's really coming across a good amount where, on the left side, you could see where I'm coming more straight down on the actual throw. And a big reason is because the front shoulder is in a much more stable position by having it locked in. You could also see that as I'm throwing, at that initial point, I'm very locked in, right? It's not, my shoulders aren't moving. Or here, as I'm throwing, my shoulder is actually continuing to move through the process of the throw, which makes it so, again, I don't get as much internal rotation on the shoulder, don't get as much whip on the on the ball, sorry. And as much power through the shoulder. Where here on the left, I'm very locked in there, which really allows my arm to come all the way through and there to be more of a whip into that internal rotation. So, what's important though about being able to create a lot of internal rotation is, the position of the front shoulder, also the actual range of motion of internal rotation within the shoulder. So if you don't have the right range of motion within your actual shoulder joint, then that's going to have a negative impact on your ability to generate a lot of force on the ball, right? And you're going to especially see that when you have to throw like 20, 25-yard throws or really deep throws. So you can get away with it when you're throwing just like 15 yards, but once you have to start throwing it really, really deep, if you don't have that good internal rotation, then you're going to see the actual trajectory of it not be as good of a trajectory if you don't have the good internal rotation. But also a big part of it, and this is really a bigger part of probably like the deeper throws, is going to be having the strength in the posterior shoulder. So the big thing that people always talk about when it comes to pitching and keeping a good pitching shoulder is that as when you're throwing, you want to be able to decelerate what you are accelerating, right? And so if you don't have good strength within your external rotations of the external rotators within the shoulder, then you're not going to be able to accelerate the ball because you won't be able to decelerate the ball. So it's really, really important to be able to build up this back part of the shoulder as well as be able to have the range of motion in the internal rotation of the shoulder in order to maximize your throw. And that's the reason why you see some quarterbacks who aren't necessarily the biggest guys, right? They're not super strong. They don't have anything that is really a wow factor, but they have certain long levers and they have really good range of motion. And because of those two reasons, they're able to throw the ball really well because they're able to really maximize that internal rotation. And it actually is a benefit for them to not be able to be so strong in the internal rotation, because then their decelerators, the back part of their shoulder, is really able to correctly decelerate the acceleration that's happening through the arm, right? Decelerate, so slow down the acceleration that's happening within the arm. So as long as you're able to do that, then you're going to be able to really maximize your throw. But sometimes people get so strong in the front part of their arm that it really has a negative impact on the ability to maximize the throw, because they don't have the right strength within the back part of the shoulder. So that's the big thing. That's what we concentrate within the program, is really being able to build up the back part of the shoulder to be able to maximize your throw. And a big part of being able to utilize the back part of the shoulder and get the right ranges is, where is your front arm? A lot of people I see are losing the power that they could generate within their body because they don't have the front arm in the right position, which is having a big impact on the throw. There's a lot of people that are starting to understand this, and I think it's getting taught a lot better with that front arm position, but there's a lot of people out there that I don't think know where their front arm should be. So hopefully this video will not only help you in getting a better understanding of that, but also why that you want to be doing that and what's happening during the throw that's making it so putting that front arm in the right position really has a big benefit in your ability to maximize your velocity in the throw. Really, that front arm position is going to help out a lot more with velocity, a little bit from an accuracy standpoint, just because you keep your spine in a little bit better position. But really, it's a lot more of a thing where you can generate much more velocity within the throw. All right, if you guys have any questions, you guys could always let me know. Check out our free 7-day program in the link below. And as always, we're hoping you guys are becoming quarterbacks, and we'll talk to you soon.